Hi, ladies. I hope you can hear me. Let's see if this works with my sketchy rural internet. So today I just wanted to pop on. We're getting really close to St. Nicholas Day, so I wanted to come on here for our Liturgical Living Lives little show episode and just talk about our family traditions around St. Nicholas Day, different things that we do, and just kind of, bounce ideas off, and why we still had some time to get some things tomorrow. So the first thing, if you aren't familiar with St. Nicholas Day, he was a bishop, and he was born in the late 200s. So, the majority of his life was in the 300s, that 4th century. And he became a bishop in Myra, Turkey. And he's the patron of children. There's a lot of stories surrounding him helping children. And so we celebrate him during Advent on December 6th. So there are a few things that our family does, and they're kind of, one of them's a little more macabre than others, and it is relating to, some of y'all might know about like a pickle ornament. And the reason that we do that on St. Nicholas Day is because, and this is where the macabre comes in, what we call Flannery O'Connor liturgical living, where he is said to have resurrected, raised from the dead, 3 boys that were basically, killed by this crazy man in town, basically an axe murderer, killed these 3 little boys, and we know he's crazy because he pickled them. So, he found out about this, St. Nicholas found out about this, and he prayed, and, they were restored, back to life, back to all one piece. So pretty miraculous. So what we do is I'll hide our pickle ornament. Here it is. It's just a little glass ornament. I know a lot of people hide it in their tree. We'll hide it in the Advent wreath somewhere, or some greenery around the house, because we don't have our tree right now. And, so that's how we kind of work that in and make it memorable. And that usually, that person that finds it, they'll either get like a gold, dollar coin, or sometimes I have an extra book for the year. Normally, excuse me, normally we have, when we fill up our shoes for the kids, we'll have oranges, the little clementine ones, nuts, chocolate coins, I got these from Target Dollar Bin. So $1, you can get them at Dollar Tree if you have one of those by you. I just happened to be in a town that had a Target, so I found those there. And then they also had these little St. Nicholas guys. It's just more chocolate, basically. And I'll just put a little, you can get construction paper, red construction paper, cut a triangle, glue those on there. I do get a Sharpie and do a little cross to make a miter on those little chocolate guys. You can find them all over the place. I think they've got them at Costco. If you've got an Aldi, I know I've seen them there before as well. So another thing that is, interesting, another story why we do the shoes is that he is said to have given money for the dowry of, different girls. Back in that time, dowries were very important for the future of women. And there were some poor women that didn't have it, young ladies, and he was said to have thrown the coins, down the chimney. I've heard in the window. There's a lot of different variations of that, and some of them say they landed in the shoes drying by the fire, the fireplace. Some say they land in a sock, so that's where we get the stockings from, idea from. And so those are why that is associated with him. Another one is the speculoos cookies, speculoos, and they're like a ginger cookie, and I believe that's Dutch. And what we do, yeah, the pickle ornament. Yeah, I think a lot of people, it might be German for a lot of other people. I'm not quite sure what the origin is originally, but that is what we connect it with and how we tie that in with our family festivities. But back to the cookies, I know a lot of people, I mean, you can do gingerbread, you can do, we do ginger bends because we don't really like the hard cookies, and those are just, you know, a lot of ginger. We do the candied ginger in there, and they're soft. So that's why they're bends versus ginger snaps. And we even do that for our soul cakes sometimes, just if we want to work them in earlier, and I'll just put a cross on them, you know, like an indentation after they're out of the oven. So those are the cookies. And for us, at least, the, you know, Advent, we don't have a lot of sweets. We try not to have a lot of sweets for our celebrations anyway, just because of my husband's health. And but St. Nicholas is one day that we do have those type of treats. So the chocolate, you know, we'll have orange juice, and then also the speculoos cookies. So you can do anything with that, you know, if it's got spice in it, that's a great connection to make. And just, you know, that can be your version of the speculoos cookies. Another thing is, people might have heard about and this is one of my boys' favorite stories about St. Nicholas, but at the Council of Nicaea, they were having a huge discussion about the heresy of Arianism. And what Arianism is a belief that Christ was not fully God. So we know as Catholics that there are two natures of Christ. He's fully man and fully God. Well, the Arians believed that he did not, you know, he had some divinity, but he wasn't fully God. So basically he was like Hercules, you know, a demigod. So, I mean, which, if you think about it and the time, and, you know, we've got the Roman gods and all that stuff going on, that makes a lot of sense for the culture historically, but it's not the truth. So you can kind of see where that confusion came in. But thankfully, during that council, it was resolved, and Arius, who was really fighting for that position, the Arian position, was basically attacked by St. Nicholas. Some say he slapped him. Some say that St. Nicholas punched him. So, you know, a fun way to work that in is with a piñata. You know, basically, you know, whacking some random, you know, representation of Arius, poor guy. So that's one of my boys' favorite connections there. You know, we colored the pictures with him punching the dude out, and it's just, you know, just an interesting story that might be a way to help your young boys connect with St. Nicholas. So those are just a couple things. I have some books as well that we really like related to St. Nicholas here that I can show y'all. And also, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the CCC DVDs. They're the Saint DVDs. My boys really like this one. I mean, it's just real clean, wholesome. I believe you can find it on Formed if your church has a subscription to that, so you have access to that. I believe I heard it's on there. So yeah, it's just a CCC brand. If you look in June or July, they usually do a sale, and it's like 66% off of their DVDs, like all of their offerings. And that makes them really reasonable. I think they have like 12 or 13 different saint DVDs. Bernadette, I think there's one about guardian angels. The Odyssey's on there. I don't know how that works in, but it's on there. So just different saints and things like that. So some of the books, I'm not sure. I'm sure if you go to your local Catholic bookstore, they'll have most of these, especially this time of year. But this is one by Tolkien that our boys like. This is going to be a lot like, connecting to Santa Claus, Father Christmas. So it's letters from Father Christmas. These are the ones that he wrote to his boys. So yeah, he wrote these to his boys, and it's more along the lines of what we would think of with the commercial Santa Claus type stuff, but really just it's still great. He goes to North Pole. There's a polar bear. It's just real fun, and you can read little snippets. Then there's this one, Kirsty and St. Nicholas. This one's really good. It's from the 40s. So this is it's more of like a chapter book. So it's going to take you a little bit for that. And then we've got the Miracle of St. Nicholas. This is a great one. Demi's St. Nicholas one. Let's see, and I'm trying to not block the word so y'all can read it. Sorry. And then we've got an orange for Frankie, Patricia Polacco. This is a real fun one. They like it's a more modern one. And then this is a new one that we found, and I think he's only got like 2 books out right now, but they're really great. I love the illustrations that look like icons. So those are awesome, and just some to check out. Your library might have some. So while you're doing your work tomorrow, to just kind of set things up. So that's all I have for today. I'm sure I've forgotten lots of things, but be sure and put, I know we have a thread going of what you might be doing for Thursday for the 6th. And, feel free to add them here too, just wherever. We have lots of well-informed ladies here with great ideas. So be sure to utilize that resource and bounce your ideas off of them. And I'm sure they'll have some awesome suggestions. So until next time, our next episode, whenever that may be, just keep living the faith, one feast and fast at a time. Thanks, ladies. Bye.